right from the start, or do you just see how the first half plays out and then maybe go for it in the second half? I mean, in your own mind, what ideally would you like to see happen tomorrow night?
Football is not. I can visualize in my head how the game should look, but football is unpredictable, and that's the magic about it, I think, and that's why people come to the stadium. You don't know what's going to happen. So yes, in an ideal world, I have a picture in my head what happens across those 90, 100 minutes, but we also have to plan for all possible scenarios. And the one thing that I know that we are going to be and the players are going to be is that we're going to be calm and composed, and we have a belief during the whole game that we can do it.
And this is the biggest game, I believe, is the biggest game in your managerial career.
I don't think, I never think about it that way. I think all games are important. If you're coaching Arsenal, then all games matter. So everything is important, and tomorrow is as well. So it's for me another game, but I know what it means for a lot of people. It means a lot for us as well as a team. But I think I need to prepare every game as 100% as good as possible. So same as you.
Yeah, you get to stay with 100 days until you start the defence of the European Championships that you won with the Lionesses. You've obviously played much bigger games for Arsenal, for England, than tomorrow night. How much is your experience going to be worth to some of the players that haven't played in massive games?
I think we're very lucky here in terms of that stage tomorrow night isn't foreign to us. You know, Arsenal, being part of Arsenal means that you play in front of big crowds and you're competing always with every team. But I think there's a lot more experience than me in the team also with these sorts of situations. So I'll play my role, play my part. I think the experience of overturning the last quarter-final against Bayern Munich, I think that comes in handy for anybody that played in that game. I think that was a great memory. You know, good things happen in football, bad things happen in football, and when the good things happen, you keep them in your pocket just as much as the bad, but you call them when you need them. So I think everybody that was involved in that game will take confidence from that, knowing that we know how to do it. Almost, identical situation.
Arsenal, the only women's team to have won the European Cup in this football. Why is that? Why is it, for me, going about, especially the last 3 or 4 years, WSL? Why is it so hard to win this tournament for an English team?
I wish I knew the answer to that, because we could have maybe done something about it. I think we have a competitive league. I think football in England is potentially played slightly differently to how it is across the world. So what you face every day is different to potentially what you face in the Champions League. But that's a trick. You've stumped me out. I don't know the answer to that. I've been plucking something out. So I think it comes down to the memories that we are in this. You know, we were out of this competition for a long time before we came back into it however many years ago. So I think the inexperience of English club teams competitions doesn't probably play into our favour as much as what the other teams have. But yeah, I think the goal is for an English club team. Yes, I know from like an FA perspective and a WSL perspective, I know that. So it's up to one of us to make it happen, and I know the people that came before me that won that Champions League for Arsenal want us to be them clubs who have done it. So we take that on as well.
Yeah, that seems to matter finally quite a lot. Maybe you talk to people in men's football where Arsenal haven't won it, and a team like Chelsea have. It's always pointed out that Chelsea won and Arsenal haven't. I guess it's nice to have for you to be able to at least the only club to have done it, and to do it twice would be incredible. Huh?
It would be incredible. I'm not an Arsenal fan to grab those clubs. So that's the dream. I think it's a dream for everybody. Keep working until that becomes possible, and we can make that happen. Tomorrow night is another step in that journey.
Thank you.
Joe.
Yeah, off the back of you take into account the results, the weather, the pitch, the performance. Were the players angry? And if you were, how much do you have to utilise that tomorrow night?
I think there was a general feeling that we wasted a potential opportunity, as Renee said, 2 teams playing the same pitch. The pitch wasn't at the standard that it needed to be, but we were both very on it. I think firstly, the focus is on us. So we played a perfect game last week and we got beat by a perfect game from the other team. That can sometimes be football, but that wasn't the case. So it's about us taking individual responsibility first and foremost and making sure that everybody stays present in that. And I think everyone has a role to play in it, but yeah, the leaders of the team step up in that way, which I think we have a lot of those, and I think a lot of people have stepped up in different ways over the last couple of weeks. And I think the results in recent times that we have scored goals in quick succession and turned games around, that does give us a lot of confidence. So it's about keeping everybody calm, staying on the job, so to speak, just doing what we know we can do, supporting other bits.
Hi guys, I'll start with Leah, if that's alright. At the start of the season, you mentioned the Bayern game as like a core memory of your kind of Champions League journey. I was just wondering, between that first leg and the second leg, can you remember what I guess your thought process as well and the team's was as well? And I guess was that important, or was it just it came down to what happened in that 90 minutes?
It was the same situation. Football doesn't stop, so you have a different task. We had a different task to focus on doing that Saturday, and then we're carrying on again going to tomorrow. It was very similar circumstances, so there's a lot, I suppose, that what we've spoken about today is the same back then. We had a great second half finish, we put under a lot of pressure, and we wanted to pick up exactly where we left off, and that's the aim for tomorrow as well.
And Renee, we spoke to Leah a few months back. If I
You're
missed,
smiling, it looks like you're going to say something that's going to get me in trouble.
if I misquote this, correct me. But Leah basically said you helped with, I guess, keeping her, I guess, perfectly charged, so not being too much of a fan when she's on the pitch. And I was wondering if you could kind of explain what was behind that and how you kind of went about doing that.
Now it sounds like we've had therapy sessions. So no, it's I think where Leah comes from, but you're better at saying this than me probably. But comes from a history of being an Arsenal fan, of course. Arsenal means a lot for Leah, and I think there's a lot of things that mean a lot to you in your life. Anyway, so focusing on the task at hand, I think that's my learning in life, and I believe that makes teams perform if players are aware of what they need to do in the moment here and now, because thinking about history and thinking about what lies in the future is not going to help you in the moment, and that's especially in sports when you have 90 minutes to play and you have to be in here and now, and I think that's important, and Leah and me have had conversations about it, and that's basically it. So, yeah.
We both did a fantastic
And I was just wondering, are you familiar with, so there's a clip from a Jose Mourinho press conference years ago where he was talking about football heritage, and it kind of reminded me of what Leah was talking about earlier in terms of English teams not really having much experience in the Champions League, and I was wondering if you had any thoughts on, I guess, being, in the competition in the latter rounds, repeat times, and I guess what is the value of it beyond just saying a word like experience?
I think there's also globalization going on, so I think football starts to look the same more and more across countries, and you see players from different countries, you see coaches from different countries, so I think the product is looking more and more the same, but there's still a spectrum of how football is played and what it means culturally, and I think the more you do that, but I think we get those challenges in the WSL as well, because we play against teams that have different playing styles and have different backgrounds or ideas about football and how they want to go about it. So yeah, I think we get those challenges. So I don't know exactly. I haven't seen the Jose Mourinho football, so I'll go and have a look. But yeah.
Jenny.
Renee, I just wanted to ask, over the last fortnight, you've kind of had this anomaly where you face Liverpool in the FA Cup, then you face Madrid, then you face Liverpool again.
always trying to learn. I'm learning every day. So discussing with colleagues, discussing with players, taking input from other places, but I always try to reflect on myself as well. So I always try to learn. I think it's something we do together as well as a staff. So I'm not sitting here and with players. So I'm really happy with what we did against Liverpool, of course. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a different challenge. So like I've been saying, we try to plan for all scenarios, and we'll see what the game gives us tomorrow. Which we will try and take as much control of the game. I think that's when we're at our best as well. But at moments you have to suffer and you have to go through that as well. But we have plans, and that's probably my learning, that make sure you plan for everything, because then when the moment comes, you can be calmer, that's your decision making. But also, whatever the result and whatever the emotions around you, to try and stay and go in your direction, just calm and composed. So that's a big challenge, and that's probably the biggest learnings from the last 4 weeks.
And Leah, thanks for your time. I just wanted to reflect. Obviously, we speak to Renee a lot about the group and the intensity of the group. But you're, peering back the curtain, you're a player, you're a leader in this team. It feels like Arsenal have a really good ability to come back from deficits and really, when they're kicked down, come back. We saw it at West Ham. We saw it at Bayern Munich 2 years ago. Wolfsburg, even Bill Stetter there. What do you think it is with this group? What's special about this group and that ability to kind of regroup in adversity?
I think, firstly, you don't ever want to end up in that situation, and I think genuinely it comes from the frustration of when you know what you can do, then when you end up in a situation like that, or there's a deficit, or you're training in the game, it feels, we look at ourselves first. I do think that is the case. Like I say, it's very different. You play all out. I go to Wolfsburg second leg. We have however many players on the bench, etc., etc. Those different experiences. You give everything, it's just not enough. That's different. But when you're underperforming, then you look inwards first. The team is very good at doing that, at problem solving, at talking to each other, staying together, and then the product of that recently has been great, which is good. But it's something you have to constantly work on, something that on the pitch. You can't take it for granted. And I think they're themes that we always have running through the group. Like there's no days off. You can't work at full intensity every day because you have to manage the training sessions, etc. But they're being present, being impactful with what you say, when you say it, and your actions in that way towards your teammates. I don't think we have days off when it comes to those things, or at least we try not to, which I think then feeds into the strength of the group.
Brilliant. Thanks both. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi Renee. So on the weekend I thought we were so successful because the way the wing players were able to get behind Liverpool's fullbacks and kind of put those crosses in. How key do you think players like Chloe Kelly and Caitlin Ford with their pace on the wing are going to be going into a fixture like this against such a pacey side?
We have so much different quality in the squad, and they are just two examples. I think when we're at our best, we have a lot of different threat in different places on the pitch, and that's when we create dilemmas for opposition. And all players play a role in it, both the players that start and the players that finish the game. So yeah, they are important players, but everyone on the pitch is very important to create those dynamics for opposition.
Leah, you guys kind of sort of didn't go so your way last week against Real Madrid, but then came back on Saturday with an amazing performance at the Emirates. But Madrid also had a good result this weekend against Barcelona. As a player, kind of how do those successful wins against teams you've lost to earlier in the season kind of prepare you for a big fixture like this going in? Does it give confidence, or how does it set you up?
Yeah, like I say, we have proven to ourselves that we can turn things around. That gives us confidence, but we are very much, task in hand, like Renee says. So Saturday was Liverpool's a completely different task, but you're in the moment, preparing and trying to get the most out of yourself, which then subsequently makes the next game easier. So I think the confidence comes from the fact that when we talk, and we will talk about a direction. Like I said, Liverpool, we are two very different opponents, but compare how we played against them in the FA Cup to the league, it's a big difference. We've proven that we can. And
yeah, you see those two teams in La Liga fighting. It was good. It was a good game. I think they tried to play their game as much as possible. So yeah, it was good to see a lot of learnings. Yeah, of course we saw that Madrid came away with a 3-1 win for the first time in history, I think. So, but that's that and that's them. So it's about us tomorrow. Second question was about penalty kicks.
Yeah. Did you train in the penalty kicks today?
Yeah, so we want to plan and prepare for all possible scenarios that can happen. So that's what we did today in training.
Thank you. For Leah, as a defender, about the penalty kicks, would you take a penalty tomorrow?
Okay. I think everybody will be ready to step up and do what they needed for the team, but I'm not in charge of who takes penalty kicks or the total list, so I know we have some strong takers in our team, but I wouldn't shy away from it.
And other one for you, Caroline Weir is now the top scorer of history in Real Madrid, and you know well. What do you expect from her tomorrow, and is she difficult to defend?
Yeah, I've known Kaz a long time. She's a player with great qualities on the ball, and she's a clever footballer, so she is difficult to defend. She's somebody that you can't sort of ignore on the pitch. And I love Kaz, so it's difficult to play against her when you like something. But I think she's somebody definitely that we have to be aware of, and she does a lot for their team, as she did on Wednesday. But I hope we have enough experience in our squad as well, players that played with her and against her to nullify that.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. It's time to wrap up now, Robert.
Renee, I was going to just get your overall assessment of Real Madrid, what you've seen from the first match, and just give an overview on them.
A very disciplined team, I think. They've been developing their play. I think they do things on a high level together. They seem to have a belief in what they're doing, and then they have a couple of individual threats as well going forward.
And Leah, as a defender, the key to shutting them out tomorrow and maintaining a clean sheet if possible.
I think we also have to be very disciplined. A lot of their threat comes with fast attacks. I think we have what we need to match it, but we have to be disciplined